What is a good word, everybody? Tiger727 back with a video that I don't normally do too often, and this being a PSA review. So Ken over at Ken's Cardboard was going to the National, and at the time my nephew and niece had some Pokemon cards that they were looking to sell, and I was having a hard time finding it, and their dad was trying. He was having a hard time figuring out what it was, and finally had a decent idea what it was. And I even asked Ken and my other guys in the text group, and nobody really knew exactly for sure what it was, but we had a decent idea. And so I figured, well, if they wanted them graded, I figured, because they wanted to sell them, meaning my niece and nephew, and so grading these cards would probably be the best option. Being Pokemon, I don't know the first thing about Pokemon cards, and so thanks to Ken, he reached out and said, hey, he'd be happy to drop these off at the National, which he did, and also that stack of cards you see in the background there. And Ken texted me, I think on Thursday, saying unfortunately the Pokemon cards were not graded, citing authenticity, which is strange to me because from my understanding my nephew and niece pulled these cards from packs. So I took one of them out of a sleeve here just to kind of give you an idea what we're looking at. And here's the sleeve it was in. It's a 2017 Pokemon Sun and Moon Charizard GX, Authenticity CT. So I don't know, I guess that's just citing authenticity, which is very strange to me. So if anybody has any insight on that, let me know. I'll get this one sleeved back up. I don't know if I try SGC now, see what they do. Beckett, I have no idea. And then here's the other two that were submitted. I never had seen these cards in person, because they live about an hour from me, and my daughter was heading over there, so she packaged everything up and shipped it to Ken. So they had these three cards. There is a crease on this one that's hard to see, but it's bottom left there, but also authenticity on this one. And this is the Charizard EX 2014 Pokemon. So if anybody has any insight on that, please let me know. So the rest of this will be a PSA reveal. I know two of the grades on there because Ken told me in the text, and then I happened to see one when I was opening the package. And I'm not that crazy about being secretive on what my grades are or whatever. For me, a lot of these cards are Topps Gold cards, and for the last Hall of Fame, last card of Hall of Famers, if you watch my other videos, you know I'm also trying to go for the gold cards of those ones. So I sent some of those. I think, and there's some UP collections, Upper Michigan, for that set, and some Desert Shield. And Ken was nice enough to throw in a couple extra cards. Sent me this cool Topps Heritage minor league card. Colt Keith having a pretty solid year. Started off very cold, but he's been doing pretty well. I'm excited to see how he progresses. Tiger signed him to a 7 or 8 year deal in the off season, so hopefully he's around for a while. Also, Bo Burrows autograph, super nice card. He bounced around the league a little bit, Minnesota, LA, and Philly, and now he's playing for some minor league club or something like that. So needed both of those cards, and I forget the number. I should have wrote it down, what that puts me up to for my Tiger collection. I am at 10,155 with those two cards. So thank you to Ken for your help, and for those two extra cards. I greatly appreciate it. So let's get into these. First one's going to be a John Shelby Topps Desert Shield. I did buy this online or eBay ungraded, and came back an 8. So very happy with that. Tony Gwynn Topps Gold. I also bought this on eBay a couple years ago, I think. So this will be for my last card of a Hall of Famer collection, and I came back a 7. Now people are wondering why in the world would I grade a Kevin Tapani card. Well, Kevin Tapani actually played high school ball in the UP. He was born in Iowa. As you can see there, Des Moines, Iowa. And when I say I don't really care what these grades are, I don't want to sound like I really don't care, but obviously I could do this collection as just, you know, ungraded cards, get one card of every player. I've kind of narrowed it down to tops, that I'm trying to get one of everybody that's from the UP and do their runs. And I figured might as well do it graded, and for the purpose of probably be the only one to ever have this collection. If I ever complete it, I don't know if anybody else will do this collection or not, but I'm working on it, so we'll see what it is. So I'm not overly, that's 7. I'm content with that. Like I said, I'm not overly crazy about what the grades are. It's more of just having a odd, unique collection that down the road somebody will say, hey, this guy did that, and who knows where this collection will end up outside of my kids' hands. Speaking of that, Mike Bordick, Topps Gold, another UP player in an 8. Happy with that. A lot of these cards, like some of the ones I bought, some were in a collection I purchased back in 2020, and they've just been sitting in a box waiting to be sent in. This is a 94 Topps Gold Mike Bordick. Let's see what this one came back as. So with the Athletics here, that was an 8. '94 Topps Gold Nolan Ryan. Came back a 7. '92 Topps Gold Mike Bordick. My favorite, I don't know if it's because it's the first year or just because I like the looks of the 92 Topps, but my favorite Topps Gold card is probably 1992. And that's an 8. Sorry for the shadow here. See if I can adjust this a little bit. There we go. That'll help a little bit. 2010 Topps Gold of John Smoltz. Let's see what this one is. That's an 8. This is one of the ones that I know, and I was kind of surprised at this one. So that kind of gives you a hint. The fact that I said earlier I knew what it was. When he made the Hall of Fame, I found this online for like $4. So I picked it up. Did not expect it when I eventually got it graded to come back as a 10, but even better. Fred McGriff with the Dodgers. This is probably one of my favorite images on cards. Ever since I've seen this card, I just like this card. And that is also a 10. Just a great looking image of Adrian Beltre. 2 more. This one's out of my wife's collection. Actually, I had sent this one into SGC back about 4 years ago, and they did not grade it because it was, I think it was minimum size or something like that was their reasoning. But obviously PSA graded it, and it is a 10, which is outstanding for a Jordan. My wife's collected Jordan for majority of her life. And last but not least, a Cecil Fielder Topps Desert Shield and a 7. Great looking card. I mentioned the other one that I bought back in May in another video, so I'll have to decide which one I want to do. I've had this one for quite some time. Don't know if I want to keep this one, or I think the other one's an 8. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm not too concerned about the grade. It's more of a nostalgia thing and having a card in my collection for a long period of time versus the grade for me. So that is my PSA reveal. Like I said, something that I don't do very often. I don't send a whole lot of cards in for grading too often, but every now and then I do. And I appreciate everybody watching, and let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think about those grades, and we'll talk to you later.